If you are a fan of EA Sports college football, the longest yard, and rivalries, then this video is for you. As a bit of a send-off to College Football 25, I matched up the Mean Machine versus the Guards to recreate the game from the longest yard. And as you can see, there were a ton of big-name actors, celebrities in this movie, among the likes Adam Sandler, Terry Crews, Michael Irvin, NFL Hall of Famer, R&B superstar Nelly, and then Burt Reynolds, who was in both the initial make of the movie and then the remake in 2005, and on the defensive side, Bill Goldberg, and then not to be overlooked or forgotten, Chris Rock was in this movie too as Caretaker Farrell, who was essentially a coach for the team. And then the guards had William Fitchner, and of course, the one and only Stone Cold Steve Austin has their bruising power back. Without further ado, let's get into the game. Now you can see Paul Crewe coming out here on the field, and the Mean Machine got started early in this one, showing their diversity on offense. It was Earl Meggett with a initial first down run, and the Mean Machine even got a little Brucey involved with a screen pass that was unexpected. And then showing off their passing game, it was Cheeseburger Eddie on a first down catch. And this led to a bit of a tricky play off a double pass. It was Nate Scarbaugh who found Deacon Moss in the end zone. And just like that, the Mean Machine had jumped out to a 7-0 lead. And it was also Brucey continuing his surprising day, making a field goal. And it cannot be overlooked that there were military personnel present at this game, just in case. And like I said, bruising fullback guard Dunham came out to get things started for the Guards, and he was listed as 6'2", 260. Again, he was a bruising power back. You see him picking up a first down early here. And on the reception, it's worth noting, I believe this was guard Garner, who, funny enough, was played by Brian Bosworth, college football legend himself. And the Guards got going early, but eventually had to punt. You can see an incompletion there on fourth down. And the Mean Machine took back over, trying to go back to Deacon Moss. But a third down was forced initially, and it was an out route to Cheeseburger Eddie that was dropped. And that brought on Brucey to punt, which is never a good sign. And the Guards regained possession from there, still trailing 7-0. And they went right back to the well with some more hard running there. And that was guard Dunham. And then Knauer taken to the air over the middle. He finds his fellow guard, and they were going quick. However, they were stopped by the end of the first quarter. And just like that, you can see the inmates in attendance were enjoying this one. It was a fast start by the Mean Machine. They were controlling the time of possession and the yardage battle altogether. And again, you get another good look there, the inmates who were allowed to be in attendance. Coming back out of the break, guard Dunham showing his versatility. Rakes in a passing catch, and you see the chippiness starting between these two. And continuing to the air there, that was Fitchner hitting another fellow guard. But rolling out, it was a big sack there that eventually limited the Guards to a field goal. And getting started on the ensuing drive there, that was Nate Scarbaugh. And then Earl Meggett taking a big touch pass to get the Mean Machine offense going. And they were already in plus territory. You can see Meggett fired up about that one there, as are the inmates, again in attendance. You can see that Mean Machine wear and tear taking its effect. There's Big Turley on the field, and it's a nice option keeper from Paul Crewe. Funny enough, he was an NFL superstar, but that time showing off his rushing ability, and then some more trickery as Nate Scarbaugh back in at quarterback, more of a wildcat quarterback there. He found Deacon Moss, and there's a late pitch. Again, Brucey left open, left unattended by the Guards, who did not respect him, and you understand why. But he picks up a first down there, and the Mean Machine would go on to strike with a motion handoff. Bit of a unique touchdown there. Brucey added on another extra point, and that made things 14-3 in favor of the Mean Machine. And the Guards came back out. That was guard Garner, again played by Brian Bosworth. And you can see the Guards are a little shook here, and they know they need to be desperate as they are going quick. And a quick out route forced and a quick third down. And with the clock ticking down here a little bit, it was the Guards continuing to go fast. and a 3rd and 2 play. Ultimately, it was some broken coverage for the Mean Machine, and the guards struck quickly. And just like that, they were right back in it. Again, down 14-3 before that. That went on to stun the inmates in attendance, and that brought it within 4, as the Mean Machine would take over with a chance here, and Brucey, showing his usual form there, wanted nothing to do with the ball. But it was Earl Maggot to start the drive here, and quickly it was 4th and 2, but Cheeseburger Eddie bailed out the inmates like he has so many times, and he continues his productive first half there, tiptoeing the sideline for a first down. And across the middle there, Brucey continuing to get involved here for the Mean Machine, and they're in plus territory, but the clock is winding down. It was a quick flat route to Earl Maggot, as you get a quick look at Englehart, Sergeant Englehart. And quickly across the middle there, the guards were able to work it down to the 2-yard line, but they burned their last time out. I mean, what are these guys, a prison yard team? And you see Paul Crew trying to single it in, but he could not score. And just like that, it was a bit of an inconspicuous end to halftime, as the Mean Machine largely dominated this game. And you could see, especially on the ground, they had control as well as had control of the time of possession, but they did not score there at the end of the first half. So things remained 14-10, and it was the guards' ball to start, as a heck of a diving catch there led the guards just about to midfield, and they continued to utilize guard Dunham in a bit of a unique way. That time it was a touch pass, essentially a rush for the bruising halfback. They go right back to him. He cuts one upfield, and just like that, the guards take the lead 17-14. And you can see the fans in attendance are stunned as how this one has flipped. However, the Mean Machine continued their game as they showed that they've got a heck of a running back as well. And the chippiness continued. As you saw, Big Turley there. He'll come back in this one, but it's Cheeseburger Eddie over the middle. Just a sensational day, and it was Paul Crew finding him wide open for a touchdown, and that put the Mean Machine on top. On the ensuing drive there for the guards, it was Captain Knauer getting things started as his 5-star Torres throwing him down. However, on the next play, more hard running there from Stone Cold Steve Austin, guard Dunham. And they'll go back to him, although he might be showing some wear and tear, as the Mean Machine were able to force a fumble there by the power back. And right off the rip, they go to Deacon Moss again, this time out of a triple option pitch. And Deacon Moss scores his 2nd touchdown of the day. And the Mean Machine gained control. As you can see, they are about to go up by 11 here in this one and make it a 2-possession game. After the fumble there by Dunham, the guards, did not abandon their power back, as Dunham went on to pick up a first down, got them to a quick 2nd and inches, and it was Knauer on the pass, found someone wide open. That is guard Garner. And just like that, the guards were back in business, and it's another rushing touchdown for Dunham. As Stone Cold Steve Austin is fired up about that one. I'm not sure if I've seen Stone Cold Steve Austin dance like that, but the guards are back in it, as they're going to go for 2 here to try and make this a 1-score game, but battle comes up big. And here on the ensuing possession, it's Big Turley, the 7-foot, 400-pound fullback, lunges forward there, and you get a quick snapshot here at just the diversity that Paul Crew had to work with here. He had a lot of different targets, and he was spreading the ball around in this one. To start the 4th quarter here, a little bit more trickery, showing some wildcat. Paul Crew coming back out, finding his go-to guy in this one. You would think Deacon Moss, he did have a heck of a game, but Cheeseburger Eddie really was the go-to target here, as Turley got another carry, and I believe this was the play the Mean Machine were trying to execute there at the end of the first half, as Crew takes a little bit of a QB sneak, and the Mean Machine, with only 2 minutes left in this one, they take a commanding 12-point lead. Now the guards were not done, as they kept passing But on the first play, it was battle with a user lurk, interception, and they can sense it. Knauer a little bit dejected there, and the inmates in attendance are fired up. And on the ensuing possession, more hard running there from Big Turley. The gigantic human being punches it in there for the end zone for the Mean Machine, and that essentially sealed it. It was a hard-fought game, as you can see, and the guards didn't give up. They worked the ball down the field, but you heard his name earlier, 5-star Torres just continued to make an impact on this one, and I don't think they called him 5-star because he was a 5-star recruit. He had a late interception. Paul Crew took a knee to end this one, and all was well with the Mean Machine. That is, until they went back to prison. But their glory lived on forever,